Hello friends, it is time for a video that I do once every year, and it is all the books on my TBR. We're going to go through every single book on my TBR, I hold them up and say their name, and we do this for a few different reasons. One, I like to reacquaint myself with my TBR every year. I feel like I don't see a lot of these because they're like stacked behind other books because of my limited shelf space. That won't be a problem for very long, hopefully. I've started, don't want to tell you that, we've started the home purchasing process. We're very early on, but the ball has started rolling, and that's very exciting. That's 2025, baby, so I'll have more room then. So excited. Yeah, I don't have a lot of room, so I don't see them a lot. And also, I like to hear from you guys what books you've loved and which books you've hated from my TBR. Please put them in separate comments. I need this for certain videos, especially for next year. This video is very important. I need you to tell me every book you've loved and every book you've hated and fill the comments with it. I need hundreds of comments because I will be randomizing these comments for future videos and for TBR Cluedo. Although I don't land on it a ton in TBR Cluedo, I think I avoid it. That's a lot of, that's a lot of power over to you guys, but it is a TBR Cluedo prompt to read a book that you've loved or read a book that you've hated. Yeah, I need your comments. And 2025 more than ever, I don't want to get into what my reading goals are going to be, but let me tell you, they're definitely going to center on my TBR. Because this is out of control. I don't know the exact number, we'll know once we've filmed this, but it's 300 give or take 10 either way is my estimate.
You guys are in a crisis. I'm on my way.
We'll see how close that is. I won't know when filming, I'll know when editing. Yeah, we've got almost 300 books on my TBR, and I just think that is too much. This took me like an hour to sort out into the genre. We're gonna go them by genre. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna be going through every single book on my TBR, and I wanna hear from you guys what you've loved, what you've hated, and I'm really looking forward actually to hearing your opinions. But shall we just get into it? Let's start with, I'm not actually sure out of these first two genres which one's biggest, but the one next to me is mystery. So let's start with all the mysteries in no particular order, and let's get into this video of me telling you every single book I own, and I really want to hear your guys' opinions on them.
Wait a minute. I'm figuring this out. I'm like Scooby and Shaggy. I'm solving a mystery.
Okay, we've got some paperbacks to start off with, so let's get into it. We have got Murder Most Unladylike by Robin Stevens, The Murder of Mr. Wickham by Claudia Gray, Aggie Morton Mystery Queen, The Body Under the Piano by Martha Jocelyn, The Floating Admiral by The Detection Club, Murder at the Vicarage by Agatha Christie, The Very Merry Murder Club, an anthology, The Monogram Murders by Sophie Hannah, The Windsor Knot by S.J. Bennett, The Decagon House Murders by Yukito Ayatsuji, Before You Knew My Name by Jacqueline Bublitz, We Were Liars and Family of Liars by E. Lockhart, The Murders at Fleet House by Lucinda Riley, The Painted Dragon and the Midnight Peacock by Catherine Woodfine, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide, Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes, Three-Act Tragedy by Agatha Christie, The Village of Eight Graves and Death on Gokumin Island by Tashi Yokomizo, The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, The Mansfield Park Murder and the Man in Black by Lynn Shepherd. Okay, get ready for all these. I thought we'd do these all together. These are all my Agatha Christie special editions. We've got Autumn Chills by Agatha Christie, Five Little Pigs by Agatha Christie, Dead Man's Folly by Agatha Christie. Should I keep saying Agatha Christie? I don't know. The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding by Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders by Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot's Christmas by Agatha Christie, 450 from Paddington by Agatha Christie, Sinister Spring by Agatha Christie, and Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Bart, Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty, Imposter Syndrome by Joseph Knox, Guilty by Definition by Susie Dent, A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins, Marple, an anthology, The Skeleton Key by Erin Kelly, The Final Act of Juliet Willoughby by Ellery Lloyd, Helly and Death by Oscar Jensen, Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera, All the Colours of the Dark by Chris Whitaker, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, Murder Before Evensong and a Death in the Parish by Reverend Richard Coles, Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister, Related by Murder by Robin Castle, Fair Play by Louise Hegarty, Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun by Elle Cosimano, The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett, A Curious Beginning by Diana Rayborn, This Book Kills by Ravina Guron, Death Comes to Marlowe by Robert Thorogood, Promise Boys by Nick Brooke, Grave Expectations by Alice Bell, The Headmaster's List by Melissa de la Cruz, Harlem Sunset by Nikiza Afia, A Talent for Murder by Peter Swanson, The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins, She Left by Stacey Gray, Death on the Lusitania by R.L. Graham, The Examiner by Janice Hallett, The Main Character by Jacqueline Goldis, The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose, 7 Lively Suspects by Katie Watson, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, Murder at Holly House by Denzel Mayrick, and finally, The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. Okay, that's all our mysteries. Let's get into fantasy.
It's a lot of fantasies, and when I feel the fantasy, it is my reality.
Okay, there's a lot of fantasy as well, my goodness. We have got Star Daughter by Shweta Thakkar, Deep Light by Frances Harding, Within These Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood, Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston, Elatsaway by Darcy Littlebadger, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O, The Ghost Theatre by Matt Osman, The Enigma of Room 622 by Joel Dicker, Siren Queen by Nevo, Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. So many of these fantasy are hefty. Unraveller by Frances Harding, Blood Like Magic by Lizelle Sambry, The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow, The Shadow Cabinet by Juno Dawson, The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, The Curious Traveller's Guide to the Wastelands by Sarah Brooks, The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nevo, The City in Glass by Nevo, The Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Marais, A Pirate's Life for Tea by Rebecca Thorne, Stardust by Neil Gaiman, The Boned Season by Samantha Shannon, Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, Ellie Engel Saves Herself by Leah Johnson, This Dark Descent by Kaylin Josephson, Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend, The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, Dark and Shallow Lies by Ginny Myers Sane, Days of Blood and Starlight and Dreams of God and Monsters by Laini Taylor, The Extremely Inconvenient Adventures of Bronte Nettlestone by Jacqueline Moriarty, Keeper of Enchanted Rooms by Charlie N. Holmberg, The Odds by Lindsay Packett, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, The Archive of the Forgotten by A.J. Hackworth, A Sprinkle of Sorcery by Michelle Harrison, All the Hidden Monsters by Amy Jordan, The Keeper of Night by Kylie Lee Baker, The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed, Law Olympus Volume 1 by Rachel Smythe, Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu, Suzanne Walker and Jomette Gill, Bloodlust and Bonnets by Emily McGovern, The Language of Thorns by Lee Bardugo, 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim, Only a Monster by Vanessa Len, One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick, Wolf Song by TJ Klune, The Gilded Walls by Roshani Chotsky, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, The Young Elites by Marie Lu, A Psalm of Storms and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown, The Bright and the Pale by Jessica Rubinowski, This Vicious Grace by Emily Theed, The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett, Strange Grace by Tessa Grattan, Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan, The Mirror Season by Anna Marie McLemore, Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nevercott, Darling Girl by Liz Michalski, The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, Caraval by Stephanie Garber, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Barry, The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling, The Lie Tree by Frances Harding, and A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sojo Mass. Okie dokie. Those are by far our 2 biggest genres. I think that's probably like at least a third of the TBR, if not more. I mean, you know how many roughly we're at right now. The next 2 biggest are probably thriller and historical, so let's get into one of those next.
I like drama. Drama drives me at times because I think without drama, what's the fun in life?
So we have got Breathless by Amy McCulloch, Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett, Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier, The Collective by Alison Galen, Age of Vice by Deepti Kapoor, The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark, One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware, The Kind Worth Saving by Peter Swanson, The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell, The Long Weekend by Gilly McMillan, The Retreat by Sarah Pierce, Never Saw Me Coming by Vera Kurian, 9 Elms by Robert Brizender, Home Is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose, 0 Days by Ruth Ware, The Things We Do to Our Friends by Heather Darwent, The List by Yomi Adegoke, The Escape Room by L.D. Smithson and The Escape Room by Megan Golden, The Dinner Guest by B.P. Walter, How to Kill Men and Get Away With It by Katie Brent, The Whisper Man by Alex North, Other People's Clothes by Calla Henkel, Stay Awake by Megan Golden, The Push by Ashley Audrain, The Spare Room by Andrea Bartz, You Need to Know by Nicola Moriarty, The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, The Other People by CJ Tudor, Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole, and Night Watching by Tracy Sierra.
That's history.
Okay, let's get into historical / classics. Firstly, we have got The Good Left Undone by Adriana Trigani, Don't Cry For Me by Daniel Black, The Lincoln Highway by Amor Towles, Most Ardently by Gabe Cole Novoa, The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys, A Million to One by Abida Jagrada, Lovely War by Julie Berry, Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead, Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson, The Key in the Lock by Beth Underdown, The Other Side of Mrs. Wood by Lucy Barker, Escaping from Houdini by Kerry Maniscalco, Take My Hand by Deline Perkins Valdez, Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood, The Downstairs Girl by Stacey Lee, The Dance Tree by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, People of Abandoned Character by Claire Whitfield, Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay, Dangerous Women by Hope Adams, So Many Beginnings by Bethany C. Morrow, The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry, Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr, The Night Ship by Jess Kidd, and in the classics section of this we have got Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, No Surrender by Constance Maud, Mansfield Park by Jane Austen, Down and Out in Paris and London by George Orwell, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, Sanditon by Jane Austen, and Villette by Charlotte Bronte.
If you didn't, it wasn't something to be liked, it was something to be understood from an academic perspective.
Well, then...
Obviously, you're not an academic.
No.
Next we have non-fiction, and so many of these are like top of my list want to read books, but we know I just don't read enough non-fiction. So if anyone has suggestions on videos that I can build more non-fiction in next year, I'd appreciate it. Let's get into it. We have Somebody's Daughter by Ashley C. Ford, Tell Me Everything, The Story of Private Investigation by Erica Krauss, Bittersweet, How Sorrow and Longing Can Make Us Whole by Susan Kane, The Tree of Yoga by BKS Iyengar, Harlots, Whores and Hackabouts, A History of Sex for Sale by Kate Lister, Poetry Unbound, 50 Poems to Open Your World by Padraig O. Twama, The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama, The Keys to Kindness by Claudia Hammond, Bookshop Tours of Britain by Louise Boland, Undoctored, The Story of a Medic Who Ran Out of Patience by Adam Kay, The Once and Future Sex, Going Medieval on Women's Roles in Society by Eleanor Janega, London, A Guide for Curious Wanderers by Jack Cheshire, In Defense of Witches, Why Women Are Still on Trial by Mona Charlotte, Butts, A Backstory by Heather Radka, Agatha Christie, A Very Elusive Woman by Lucy Worsley, Feminists Don't Wear Pink and Other Lies, curated by Scarlett Curtis, Haven't You Heard, Gossip, Power and How Politics Really Works by Marie Leconte, The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness by Michelle Alexander, Save the Cat writes a novel by Jessica Brody, Heart of the Race, Black Women's Lives in Britain by Beverly Bryan, Stella Dadsey and Suzanne Scaff, Myrtle Volume 1 and Myrtle Volume 2, Bad Gays, A Homosexual History by Hugh Lemmy and Ben Miller, The Adventures of Maud West, Lady Detective by Susanna Stapleton, In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, and Jane Austen at Home by Lucy Worsley.
I love my family, I love my work, I love my life.
Okay, contemporary next. Again, like a little condensed amount of contemporary books on my TBR. Not a ton, but you know, not none either. We have got True Biz by Sarah Novick, A Little Hope by Ethan Joella, As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Khattu, Tyler Johnson Was Here by J. Coles, 14 Days by various authors, Love Saves the Day by Gwen Cooper, This One Summer by Gillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki, Family Law by Elizabeth Acevedo, Come and Get It by Kylie Reid, All the Lonely People by Mike Gale, Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson, Moxie by Jennifer Matthew, What Mama Left Me by Renee Watson, Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, Tiny Pretty Things by Sonia Cherry Potra and Danielle Clayton, Some Girls Are by Courtney Summers, and Us Against You by Frederick Backman.
How many people were scared? Me too. I was really scared.
Okay, time for horror. Spooky. I feel like horror is one of those genres I read quite quickly once it's on my TBR, so I don't have a ton here, but I read quite a lot of horror, which is interesting. We have got White Horse by Erica T. Worth, House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson, Hashtag No Escape by Gretchen McNeil, The Book of the Most Precious Substance by Sarah Gran, Rouge by Mona Awad, Monstrulia by Gerardo Samano Cordova, How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, Bless Your Heart by Lindy Ryan, She is a Haunting by Tran Tran Tran, And the Trees Crept In by Dawn Kurtagich, The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starlin, I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones, The House That Horror Built by Christina Henry, The Lake House by Sarah Beth Durst. Oh my god! I didn't know The Spell Shop was by this author. Very different vibes. This is YA. Oh, interesting. Okay, I've never read anything by Sarah Beth, but now I have 2 on my TBR. That's crazy. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. God, I have so many good books on my TBR when you think about it. I need to read a lot of books with my TBR next year. Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle. When Ghosts Call Us Home by Katja D. Becerra. The Changing Man by Tomi Oyemekende. And Private Rights by Julia Armfield.
Gas levels indicate that your anus is burning.
Penultimate 2 genres now. First, we've got sci-fi. We have got How High We Go in the Dark by Sekoa Nagamatsu. Someone in Time, an anthology. On Earth as It Is on Television by Emily Jane. The Memory Police by Yoka Ogawa. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Thrum by Meg Smitherman. Upgrade by Blake Crouch. The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. And Until the Last of Me by Sylvain Nouvelle.
He wants to marry me.
And then finally, we've got romance. Again, don't read a ton, but I feel like this is when I read, like, I get the ones I really want and I read them fairly quickly. So firstly, we've got Wiped Out by various authors. Only on the Weekends by Dean Atta. The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie. 10,000 Stitches by Olivia Atwater. When Harry Was Here by Dustin Tao. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. If You'll Have Me by Uni. Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. Afterlove by Tanya Byrne. Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. And Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Wow. How many books is that? You can see on the screen. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was a lot of books. They're all on my bed at the moment. I don't know if my mattress can take the weight, quite frankly. But that is all the books on my TBR. So many good books. So many books I want to read. That is definitely the priority for next year, is I'm really going to try and prioritize videos that utilize my TBR. So also let me know in the comments if you have any videos you would like to see me do. I feel like I've done a lot of the like classic ones, but I'm not against doing them again. But yeah, we really want to try and make a dent in this TBR next year. So I'd love to know what ones you've loved and hated, like I said, for future videos, and also any video ideas you have. I'd love to know. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing all your comments on your opinions, and I'm gonna go lie down. Actually, I can't lie down because my bed is entirely taken up with books. But I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you so much. Bye!